have Ivy Norman, my first bride ever on this podcast.
Yes, friends, this was only supposed to be a podcast, but then I changed my mind. I need new YouTube content. So here we are. Camera quality, not great, but still watch, like, subscribe, enjoy.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited about this.
You're welcome. I'm excited too. I love talking destination weddings specifically.
Honestly, I feel like all Dusty brides do.
It's like a
former.
bug. You get bit and you just keep it and you gotta pass it on to other people.
100%, 100%. That's how it is. It's literally like a bug bite that like you want to share all the info. You want to be helpful to other brides because you already know that having a destination wedding is a lot. And it's not as common. I mean, it's getting way more common now, but it's not the go-to, it's kind of like a second resort or like, I don't know. It's not as common as regular domestic weddings are like in your state. So I'm so happy to have you here. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Why did you decide to have a destination wedding?
That's a great question. And it's really two reasons. The first, I think a lot of people share is love for travel. We love traveling as a couple and we did it so often. But the main thing is we live 5 hours from our family. So we live in Pittsburgh, they live in Philly, and we knew somebody had to travel to have a wedding.
Yeah.
So we thought like, well, we like to travel. A lot of our family hasn't been out the country yet, haven't really experienced some of the trips we've done.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to travel anyway. How about we all travel and make it more of a mutual experience versus inconvenient for one or the other? So
100%.
it was always a no-brainer. Like somebody's going to travel, but why not? Let's just go out the country.
Yeah, no, that's a really good reason to make it a destination wedding for sure. Traveling is happening, so let's travel to a tropical, wonderful place and do this thing, right?
Yeah, I think that was the biggest
Awesome.
benefit for them.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So we chose a destination wedding. How do we choose our venue? And I want you to tell me like what you were kind of deciding between, who were like the runner-ups, like where did you get married first and foremost?
Yes. So we got married at Finest Playa Mujeres, which is in
Yeah.
Mexico. And we chose through YouTube to start, right? Like
Mm,
we first started with research. Of course, we knew going out of the country was going to be a different price range. We just didn't know, is it cheaper? Is it more? And Cancun kept coming up as one of the more affordable locations.
absolutely.
So I just typed in like weddings in Cancun and Finest popped up as one of the first videos I saw.
Oh, wow.
Fate, right? Like I loved it. They had mainly their venues like not on the beach, but
Mhm.
overlooking the beach, and we wanted to avoid sand. And
Yeah.
then all of the like prices, we were hearing the package. I was like $2,400 for the package, which I know as people learn, like that's base package, that's
Right.
20 guests, and you add on to it.
Of
Other
course.
places were more.
Yeah.
So we started with YouTube, and then I
Mm.
was graduating grad school actually like shortly after we ended up thinking about a destination wedding.
Mhm.
I was like, let's just visit, right? Like we
Mm.
keep looking at other locations. I'll share our other tops because we did look at other places in
Yeah.
Cancun, but we went in person just as a vacation. We
Right.
weren't there to like scope it out as a wedding place. We were like,
Right.
enjoy staying in vacation and you'll probably enjoy the experience with your family.
100%.
Fell in love. It
Yeah.
fit our speed. Like we like entertainment, but we don't like a big party. So it felt comfortable. Food was
Mm.
good. It was luxurious. It was convenient. Like they really catered to us there as guests without even knowing
Right.
that we wanted to do a wedding. So
Amazing.
that was like our blind testing.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we didn't say, oh yes, we're gonna do finance after that. We did fall in love, but we came back and like we looked at a couple of the dreams locations in Cancun too.
Okay.
Specifically Playa. So that was also
Okay.
close.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think is the other one.
What was the
Natura.
other one?
Dreams Natura.
Natura. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yes. And
Uh-huh.
very beautiful, very pretty. The packages were again, it came back down to our budget. And
Yep.
those base packages included a lot, but were more than what we were hoping to spend initially.
Gotcha.
We just kept looking at like Everything's lining up with Finest. It's not the easiest resort. I'm sure I'll talk about that a little bit later. It's not the easiest
Yes.
to communicate with, but
Okay.
they were in the right range,
All
and
right.
we ended up staying within the budget that we wanted to stay in. And our
Excellent.
guests, they didn't complain about the price for everything that was included. So that was
Nice.
important for us.
Nice. Okay, this is all very helpful information. And something that you said that really stood out to me is like not telling them that you're there for your wedding right away. So you get
Right.
like the natural, like organic treatment. Like that
Exactly.
is genius.
Yeah, and it
Because
was
you know,
unintentional.
yes, because you know when you tell them that they're gonna have their wedding there, they want to bring out all the stops. And it's like, am I gonna get
Everything.
this if I'm like a regular person? Am I gonna get this if I'm just a wedding guest? You know? That is
Exactly.
smart. I didn't even think about like saying that and presenting that way because they definitely bring out all the stops when you're there to see for your wedding. But yeah, no, that's super smart. So I'm hearing it fit your price range. You went there, you fell in love, right?
Yes.
Do you think it's something that you could have done by just looking at pictures online or going in person was an absolute must for you?
It wasn't a must. I do think we would have still selected at least our top three off of
Okay.
pictures alone, and
Okay.
those, of course, TikTok. Like we
Mm-hmm.
followed a couple wedding planners and decor
Mm-hmm.
and floral people in Cancun. So
Yep.
social media was really big for me because I was,
Yes.
searching hashtags and stuff was coming up. But I would have been able to still get an idea. My husband, I think he is now like, I'm glad we visited because he didn't
Yeah.
conceptualize it the same way. He was like, a beach,
Mm-hmm.
the beach, and we're gonna be in a hot location. But
Yeah.
then as we got there, he could see the vision where on
Mhm.
paper, I'm like, oh no, like the stone gazebo there, if you are thinking about finance, it's beautiful.
Mm.
If you're a bride who, like me, I don't like sand, which sounds weird to be
Same.
getting
No,
married
I don't
in
like sand either.
Mexico.
I don't like
Yeah,
it
it's so
either.
strange that
Yeah, no.
one of the first wedding planners was like, okay, like you're getting in Mexico, you don't like, or you're getting married here, and you don't like sand.
Mhm.
But that was a big, like, a must have to have a venue that overlooked the view, but it
Yeah,
wasn't beach.
on the
And
beach.
you can see that, like any video you look up, if someone got married at their gazebo specifically,
Hmm.
knew that it was going to be beautiful without you needing to go through that sand. So it was
Yeah.
easy for me to, if I didn't visit, I think I still would have gone.
Shows. Okay. And that's important for those like the budget, right? Because some brides aren't able to make that trip
Right.
to see it for themselves. And I know for me, like when we were looking at our actual like locations and stuff like that, the pictures were very like they had pictures, but it was very like not detailed. Like
Right.
for some reason, Moon Palace didn't have that many people that were on social media at the time. So I think like, we made our decision. We're like, okay, we're gonna go here. But if we went there and hated it, we would have just pulled out because
Yeah.
yeah,
All the time.
it was just yeah. But no, that's great. So yeah, I'm glad that you weren't too indecisive either because it's such a big decision, but that's
Yeah.
awesome. Great. Okay. So another question, like, how did you choose? Like you said that you didn't want to be on the sand, right?
Right.
Were there a lot of different options at that resort that weren't on the beach? How did you
So
choose your location that you wanted there?
yeah, that's a good question. They don't have a lot of options, not on the
Okay.
beach for larger groups. So
Okay.
that's the one thing that, like, if you're expecting even over 50, we
Got
were
it.
originally planning for 50 and
Uh-huh.
we were close to that, but people who are planning for more, some of the non-beach venues aren't even available because they're too small
Got
for that
it.
size. But they do
Mhm.
have at least three locations, two of which we learned are just rain locations.
Oh, wow.
um, the stone gazebo, I was dead set, like, well,
Mhm.
I don't want anything else. I will keep the guest list below 50 if I can. But our wedding planner, she worked with them a lot and she was like,
Yeah.
oh no, like your wedding party, she gave us some tea on like they're standing. So they
Yes.
don't count them in the number of chairs that you have sitting at the ceremony. And like there was ways that we could have fit more than 50,
Nice.
but I wanted that specifically. And then of
Mhm.
course to accommodate our size without being like too small on a large beach and we have to do a lot with decor. I was like, we're not trying to make it so fancy. We want to make
Yes.
it, let the area speak for itself. Um,
Gotcha.
but they show you the venues in the
Mhm.
capacity in their package or like their folder of this is all the wedding stuff. And you'll
Mhm.
there's like literally what looks like three ceremony locations.
Mhm.
The locations, we happened to rain out on our wedding day.
Oh my gosh,
And
wow.
so the stone gazebo didn't happen for us, but it was
Okay,
so beautiful. And we got
okay,
moved to what is called the piano terrace. So they have
okay.
a piano bar there, and they
Mhm,
have this beautiful terrace that
mhm.
is half covered. So it's
Mm,
still open on the sides, but you're fully covered if it's raining. And
mhm.
we
Okay.
wouldn't have known about that venue without our like wedding coordinator giving us the backup plan. And that's when she
Yeah.
gave us that option.
So
So
smart.
it
So smart.
turned
When was your wedding? What month?
Oh, December. So
December. Oh,
December
wow.
15th.
Not
It
even
ended
rainy
up being,
season.
no, it was a
Yeah.
cold front that they didn't
Yeah.
expect. And the cold front caused rain for
Okay.
like two of the days that we were there. And wedding
Okay.
day just so happened to be that day.
Oh
So it
my
was,
gosh. Yeah. Oh, I definitely want to get into that later on. But yeah, okay. I'm glad that you had a backup destination
thank you.
for sure. But yeah, it was still very beautiful. I saw the pictures, guys. It was really nice. So rain
We
or
did it
shine, the wedding was
right.
bomb. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, another question, like, what was the most stressful part of planning for you?
Mm. I don't even know if it was the wedding planning itself. Like
Hmm.
that was a part of it. So I
Yeah.
mentioned finest not being the easiest resort to communicate with.
Correct.
If you're a person who likes to plan ahead, that could feel frustrating. And it was for
Hmm.
me because we booked our date. We got married December 2023. So we booked our date March of 2022, which was
Hmm.
a lot of time in between. And
Yes.
I thought it would be hard that they delay communication, but
Hmm.
I was trusting that they're experts. They do hundreds of weddings a year, and
Yes.
the communication is going to come. Like
Yeah.
it's not going to come until closer to your event, usually maybe a month, maybe
Yeah.
a little bit closer than you might expect in that.
Unfortunately,
Um,
yeah.
it
Hmm.
it was tough to manage, but also I think the support of I was in a brides group on Facebook and like we were just doing stuff on our own, and that helped me prepare for when I did talk to the resort.
Yeah.
So I originally said that, where it was like communication was tough. No one was answering my emails, but
Hmm.
it all worked out. It was just I had to wait. And
Yep. Yep.
sometimes we don't like the wait. I learned that and I had to
Yes.
wait, and it worked out. But
Yeah.
I would say the managing of people getting
Mm.
there was tough,
Mm.
especially with, again, most of my family, they didn't travel outside of the tri-state area all of their life.
Mm.
So it was hard to like help people get passports and even with creating a wedding website, which was informative,
Yeah.
but there was a lot of troubleshooting to help people book their rooms and if
Yeah.
it came up. So I recommend a travel agent 100%. It was definitely very helpful for us
Mm.
to be able to say, like, please call Shay. That is what she's
Hmm.
here for. She will help you. But our issue was that Finest again is great, but limited. They only had so many rooms they could allot us in our room
Yeah.
block with our travel agent. They
Okay.
gave us 20 rooms. Once that 20 filled up, it was like, that's it. You can
Mm.
book individually.
Hmm.
That's what a couple guests ended up doing,
That's what I was
directly
gonna
to
ask
the
you.
resort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it was just y'all had so many weddings in one weekend and availability
Hmm.
was scarce. So
Hmm.
they couldn't give all the rooms to us. So
Okay.
the people who didn't book with our travel agent, that's where I was struggling because it was
Yes.
always back and forth with even trying to get them a room, trying
Mm.
to make sure that it was a good price because we had locked in a price and then
Right.
making sure that they rallied to get their passports and all of that.
Yeah. Oh
So,
boy. So like they gave you an X amount of rooms, and then after that room, people couldn't book with your travel agent anymore. Is that what
right.
happened?
That's
Okay.
exactly
Okay.
what happened. Yep.
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, that's and it's something that you necessarily can't see in advance because it's very hard to like kind of judge who's coming and who's not,
Right.
especially early on, you know. And you think that 20 rooms is gonna be enough,
Right.
and you think that like, you'll be fine. And then it's like people want to leave, people want to travel, people want to like, come out the house. And then it's like, okay, what do we do now? And
Yeah.
like, okay, so they had to book outside, and just like finding a rate that was similar, even reasonable at a certain point was difficult for you, and just kind of organizing those people. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
Gotcha.
we ended up like when we reached the 20 rooms, we ended up having a bunch of people book a year out.
Mm.
They are good a year out. Their prices are some of the best. So
Yeah.
we book the refundable rate because if something opens, say somebody cancels in our block, we
Yep.
can pull you in and we can
Nice.
book. So
Okay.
people did that and they got the rate and it was a good rate a year in advance. But there was
Yeah.
people who like things just didn't work out. They
Yeah.
didn't book until the year of and really like
Yeah.
4 months in advance. And they're like,
Oh.
this is like $1,000 more. And I'm like, our price was locked in with our block.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also the hard part is knowing that I think people are gonna work at their own pace,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And like
100%.
as much as we send reminders, book your room, do this, and this is instructions.
Yep.
One, they were sold out at different points. So I should believe that
Hmm.
like people would go book a year in advance and then they're like, well, they don't have a family suite and I have to have a family suite because I have X number of
Mm.
guests. So I
Okay.
would check every week or every 2 weeks. I also can't control if you jump on there when I say, oh my God, a room opened up. And then
Yes.
it fills back up, it fills back up. So
Right. Oh my
it was,
gosh. Monitoring if it opens up 2 weeks.
yeah,
Oh my gosh. That's a lot.
yes. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved that everybody made it, but as you think about what's tough, again, the wedding planning process, it's
Yeah.
not that I'm saying it's easy, but that
Yeah.
was the hardest because I did want to make sure everybody could
Of
go.
course.
Also didn't want to be the person I'm like, this isn't what I'm as the like us as the married couple or the
Yeah.
bride groom to
Yeah.
be, we don't have time, unfortunately,
Yeah.
to even do that. And that's why we
Yeah.
have a travel agent, but we just had
Mm.
to accommodate based on the resort's 20 room
Yeah.
that they
How,
gave us.
sorry to cut you off. How soon were those rooms booked out? Like you said, like a year out? All of them were taken?
Our 20, well, I would say yes, because that's when we found out that we wouldn't get more. So
Okay.
when we were around a year out, the travel agent, we
Wow.
requested, I think it was like a pool room. There was a lot of complications. Like they didn't
Okay.
specify that it would be
Hmm.
20, and they didn't specify that it would be only so many in certain
Rooms.
categories.
Yep.
And
Hmm.
like people
Hmm.
started booking more pool rooms, either swim up or private
Mm.
pool. And she was reaching out a year in advance, like, well, we have guests booking this. The
Right.
way our vendor worked, it sounded like they would submit the request to her and then she would
Yeah.
submit to the vendor. And the
Right.
vendor was like, they don't have any more rooms in that category and they
Whoa.
can't give you any more past 20. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like, okay, everybody else, we have 4 more rooms in our block, go fill them up. And
Yeah.
then the rest of the people let us help you book directly.
Yeah. Wow. Wow,
Yeah.
Ivy. Okay, yeah. That's very interesting. And that says something. If like you're booking that many rooms a year out, like
Hmm.
that's amazing, like and it shows about your group too. Like, not for nothing. They are kind of like a lot of them tried to be on time. You know what I'm
They
saying?
did. They did. They worked hard.
Right. And that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. Wow. And that's very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. So that was the most stressful part. What
Yeah.
was the most enjoyable part for you? And then I want to hear what your guests keep talking about because we know that your guests are still talking about your wedding because
Yes.
obviously, yes, tell us.
Thank you. I would say two things. The first
Hmm.
one is gonna sound like, ooh, after you mentioned all that stress, how is this possible?
Right.
But I think we both thoroughly enjoyed the wedding day being seamless. Like
Mm.
after all of the stress and like, oh, communication is slow and is
Yeah.
it gonna turn out right? Other than the rain, which
Yeah.
they tell you early on in your
Yeah.
meeting.
How early? How early did you know that it was going to rain?
So 2 days before the wedding is when you do your final meeting with your coordinator, and
Right.
they literally printed out the forecast for that meeting. So
Wow.
they knew, and they
Mhm.
always show you if they're the prediction. I can't remember the index that they look at, but
Yeah.
she'll say like, "Well, our coordinator said if it's above this, then we usually recommend." But
Yeah.
recommend is the thing. You don't have to move venues if you don't want
Yeah. Right, right.
it's
Yeah.
being rained out and like they can't use the speakers. So 2 days
Yeah.
in advance, we at least knew like they're
Okay.
predicting rain. And then
Okay.
you have to make the call. For us, our wedding was at 3 p.m., our ceremony. So we had to make the call at 10 a.m. that morning
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and use just to
Mm-hmm.
give them enough time to switch our like decor and set up.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
So that morning they came back and they were like, I mean, I knew I was outside. I could see
Yeah.
it. They came back
Saw the
and
clouds coming in.
right. And it
Yeah.
rained a little bit. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And our fear was like the stone gazebo was partially outside,
Yep.
partially covered, partially not. And they would cut the music if it started to rain because they can't
Mhm.
keep the speaker on. And I was like, you cannot interrupt my song. I didn't
Absolutely
be
not.
walking down this aisle.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
So that was the tough part. But then
Yeah.
like that was it. And it was easy, right? We talked
Mhm.
about the plan 2 days in advance. So all I
Mhm.
had to do was call my husband and say, they just said we gotta make the call. There
Mhm.
are backup locations they can set up. What do you want to
Mhm.
do? That took 5 minutes, a couple tears because I
Yeah.
was excited about
No,
that
that's
vacation.
real. That's real. Yeah.
But it
Mhm.
was it was like that. After
Mhm.
that, so 10 a.m., I'm starting to get my makeup and hair done. I can't tell you one other hiccup that happened in between.
Awesome.
Through this day, it was beautiful, like everything worked out. And I
Mhm.
really afterwards looked back and was like, the venues didn't matter because the moments matter. And it
100%.
set up because it was such a good day. Like
Mhm.
just seeing everybody excited about us, that
Yeah.
was it. Like we got to sit and appreciate if the concise way is like our day went off without a hitch, literally, and we could really just take it in and look at our guests kind of crying with us and like
Yeah.
feel the love in the room. So it was perfect. And I know people they it's harder to know that ahead of time, but it really
Yes.
does end up working out. Even if something small happens, it's gonna be the best day, literally.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. And what are your guests saying? Like, what were like the highlights for your guests?
Everything. Let me
Everything.
everything. They do still talk about it. And
Yeah.
the main thing for them was the resort, like right
Mhm.
away. So they
Mhm.
talked about more their whole experience, not just what
Okay.
in the resort for them, it was something that I think other people experienced some form of a vacation
Yeah.
like that, but they were like, the food was good, the service
Mm.
was good, there was all
Mhm.
day activities, and we tried to craft our weekend with each other. So we had an
Right.
itinerary, we met up at there was karaoke night and there was, a
Right.
show that we all went to go see, and they
Mhm.
talk about that. Like you made sure that we had an experience that we did together and we wouldn't forget.
Love it.
We continued it like day after. They loved the wedding, of course. They thought it was beautiful.
Mhm.
We kept it quick. Our ceremony was very quick, still
Yeah.
intimate and personal, but
Mhm.
very quick. They
Yeah.
appreciated that because we moved straight to the party.
Yes.
And they know how to party in Mexico.
Yes.
The staff
Absolutely.
I still have a picture I haven't posted of one of the staff members who he was in one of the resort restaurants the next day. And they're
Mhm.
like, hey girl, oh my God. He's literally dancing with a plate of shots, like bring
Ah!
shots we did not ask for. And he's like, nope, we're gonna get this
Ready.
going. Like that was the experience they loved. They didn't
Yeah.
expect that
Oh
turned
my
up.
God.
So it was turned. And then
That's great. That's
yeah, I'm
great.
happy that they got that experience. And then we went on a boat trip the next day
Mhm.
and kept the party going. And that they're like, we're looking at the ocean and like we're in Mexico. I think that's when they
Yes.
realized like we're really out of the country having
We
fun with our
outside. We
family.
outside.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it was. That's what it was. So
Yeah. Oh my
when I
God.
say the whole thing,
Yes. What company did you use for your boat trip?
ooh, good question. Seasons, which is a
Ethan.
part of the resort, that's
Okay.
their in-house vendor. So they coordinate, which is beautiful because as you think about budget and spending money, they put it on your hotel bill. So when
Okay.
it's not a part of your wedding bill, we thought it
Yes.
would be, but it was separate when we checked out. We
Okay.
able to charge it to our room. So
Okay.
like we didn't have to worry about that expense until after. Everything
Okay.
else came either before or like when we planned, but see
Gotcha.
resort.
Okay, great. So it was like an added gift to your guests, basically, that you guys paid for,
We
like a
did some.
some of
So
it. Oh, okay.
that was a little controversial for some.
Okay.
We did supplement some of the costs. So
Okay. Okay.
we
No, that's
paid
real.
some, and then some people they contributed, and it was a subsidized. So that's why we ended up
Okay.
working with the resort because they had
Okay.
the best fee. The
Yes.
marina is 5 minutes of a walk from the lobby.
Perfect.
They
Okay.
pick you up and they walk you. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that was like a bonus. And then we
Okay.
we wanted to do something with everybody but also stay in our budget.
100%.
That was they all agreed, like we'll pay some, you'll pay some, and we all got
Very
to eat.
good. Very good. Okay, yeah, no, that's smart too. Listen, it's not controversial. At the end of the day, it's you have to come home and do life, okay?
Exactly.
Like that money, it's after the wedding's done, it's done, right? So we need to be very conscientious of like what we're spending and like, our guests, like we tell them in advance if they want to come, awesome. If you don't want to come, that's fine too, And I love what you mentioned about like the on-site activities like karaoke and stuff like that. You don't have to, like, it's be wonderful if you were able to take your guests on a wonderful ship or like a tour or something like that. But you can also like utilize the hotel to the full extent, right? Like making sure that your wedding weekend, the activities that are happening, and you could just take that over as a group, karaoke, make sure that all your guests are on that list to sing. You sit right up front, right?
Yep.
There's so many things that you can do to be creative. Welcome parties, taking over a certain bar, taking over a certain there's so many things that you can do as if you don't have the funds to do that boat trip. But it's very nice. It's also very nice to do it if you can, So that's really cool. Did you know kind of the schedule of things that were going to happen that weekend outside of your wedding in advance?
Only knew of one
Okay.
activity, and that
Okay.
is because they had. I know that stuff happens consistently on a week-to-week basis, but we just
Correct.
didn't know exactly what and when.
Mm-hmm.
But the resort had a fiesta night every Thursday, and that
Okay.
didn't change. It was always at the
Okay.
same time, and it was
Okay.
the night of our welcome party, which we did.
Okay.
We did a formal welcome party on the beach, and like we had a little get together. But some people went to the fiesta after, so
Okay.
said, like there was so much that they could do. And I
Mm-hmm.
was intentional about telling them that because the welcome party was hors d'oeuvres and they're like, we're hungry. And I'm like, hi, it was nice to see y'all. This was just to welcome y'all, give y'all your welcome bags, go to the
Yes.
fiesta, get some food. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get dinner. And
Mm-hmm.
so we didn't know everything, but
Yes.
it was, I mean, they update their app so you
Yes.
can see what's happening and
Got
you at least have
that.
a rough idea of like some of the
Okay.
stuff they typically.
Okay, great. And you encourage your guests to kind of download the app before coming to kind of see what's going on and like, okay, the plan. Very
Yep.
cool. So you had welcome bags. What were in the welcome bags? Let us know. Like,
Oh
what did you have?
yeah. So we did a hangover kit, of course,
Of
because you need
course.
that as an extra backup. And that actually people still have. If they had
Okay.
two, then they ended up
Cool.
keeping one. Um,
Yes.
and then we also did a lanyard. So Finest is
Okay.
a card-based room,
Okay.
not
Okay.
like
Yep.
the typical bracelet to get in your room. So we
Perfect.
put a little lanyard with an itinerary, but
Yep.
also so they can hold their money and their cards.
Hmm.
A snack. I'm missing one item out of there
Hmm.
was small. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
something major. The
Yeah.
main thing was then all of that went into our lovely travel agent, Shay. She
Hmm.
provided like beach bags.
Oh
So
my gosh. That's so nice of her.
no, it was beautiful. And that's
Yeah.
what we wanted to really like make sure they had the beach bags, the hangover
Yes.
kit. So we
Yeah.
put it all in there.
Oh wow, that's so smart. That's so nice of her to provide that for you guys. And then so what was I gonna ask based on what you were saying? So they had the welcome bags, they came and got their welcome bags at the welcome party, and then they kind of drift off to get food and stuff like that, right?
It
Okay.
was 50-50. Some of our guests wanted to eat with us. They were like, "Oh, is the party done?" So some went to
Yes.
the fiesta. Me and
Okay.
went to the steakhouse, and
Yes.
I think it was like 20 of us that
Nice.
sat down and had a dinner that wasn't.
Okay.
So it wasn't
Right.
like a rehearsal dinner that you scheduled.
Yeah,
It was
no.
accommodated. We showed up and we were
Yeah.
like, "There's 20 of us. Do you have seats?"
Nice.
They pushed tables together and they
Awesome.
made sure we had dinner.
Perfect. Okay, I got my question back now. So you brought the welcome bag stuff. Is there anything that you took with you from the US to like for decor, for anything like that that you Yep.
Yes.
Okay, let us know. Let us know.
I brought mainly our signage, so minus our welcome sign. I bought bar
Okay.
signs, our memory table sign, our
Okay.
table numbers, and then I actually also bought our gold cutlery because
Nice.
I wanted it. I was like, it's so beautiful, but I
Yeah.
could not justify the price to rent it. It was like $800 for the number of guests.
No.
Got it for like 130. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I with that.
Yeah.
That worked out. Like we brought it back and sturdy. It
Yes.
served its purpose. Um,
Yes.
And then we paid for custom shot glasses for our seating chart. So
Okay.
we didn't bring it physically because the company was local to Cancun.
Perfect.
That was, like, very easy that they shipped it to our wedding planner. You can
Wow.
get it shipped to the resort. I should specify when I say our wedding planner versus coordinator, we
Yes.
hired an external planner who was local
Yes.
to Cancun, and
Okay.
we also had the coordinator on site.
Smart.
They
Mhm.
shipped it to her, the
Mhm.
external planner, and she brought it that day, so we didn't have to pay.
Perfect. Oh, that's so smart. Because there's a lot of people that think like, oh, we can just ship things to the hotel and like let's do Amazon. And a lot of the cases, you can't do that. Like there's not like a mailbox that is for guests at these resorts. These resorts don't want to be responsible for the
Oh,
shipping of your items. So if you have somebody that's local that's willing to collect mail for you, that is like a very, very good idea. How did you find your wedding planner like outside the resort?
Instagram again. I
Instagram.
love Instagram and hashtags. And so some of her company's wedding, I should say that they are a team of I think 4 planners.
Okay.
Main company, they work closely with Finest. So
Mhm.
we originally started with another planner who is also lovely, who didn't work as closely and ended up,
Okay.
ending her relationship with them. And
Wow.
it was, again, with their communication, just not going to work out for her to support any more weddings there.
Wow.
We jumped on Instagram, and
Yeah.
some of the inspo pictures for Finest is
Mhm.
weddings that that company did,
Perfect.
and they're, like, some of the prettiest weddings I've ever seen, so I'm like,
Yeah.
they do decor and florals, which we didn't
Yes.
know that at first, and they
Okay.
also do wedding planning, so
Okay.
now it was a last minute change. I think we changed, like, 7 months ahead of the wedding, and we had
Okay.
booked the other planner and had her for, like, a year.
Mhm.
We have the date, so worked out,
Yeah.
and best decision ever because
Yes.
I think that's where the peace of mind came the day of. I didn't have to worry about anything.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. I definitely had a planner as well, but they weren't local. So I feel
Right.
like if I were to do things over, I probably would have chose a Mexican planner that was there on site. What about anything that you would do over? Thinking back on it now, like what's something that you can't, it went perfectly, it was wonderful, but if you were to change something or some things, what would you change?
Ooh. I think timing of our ceremony,
Okay.
we had one of the earlier times, and
Mhm.
it was nice. It made for a great day, but we ended like, the wedding was over at 9, and everybody's like, "What do we do?" Luckily,
Okay.
we planned to go to one of the bars after and, like, continue, but
Hmm.
I feel like if we had that 5 o'clock ceremony time,
Mm,
one, that's golden hour, so pictures, if we were outside,
that
would have been
part.
amazing, but also then it wouldn't have felt like such a long day because
Mm,
we started at 3 and then guests wanted to keep partying until, 1, 2.
yeah,
I'm tired at the end of the day.
of
Whereas if we
course.
could've started at 5, I think it would have been more time for us to get ready.
Yeah.
Wanted to do a first look. It didn't happen with our timeline. It was just too close.
Yep.
So I would push it back just a little bit if we
Okay.
could. And then I would also say not wedding, well, this is wedding specific hair. I
Hmm.
am a natural girl who
Yes.
at the time I hadn't really like thought about the fact that I wanted a certain style.
Okay.
I was like, it's December, it's not gonna be that hot. I'm gonna be okay. It was not ideal for me to wear leave out. And
Mm,
I've been giving that advice to some people. If you are not used to your hair being straight, at the time I wasn't. I'm transitioning now and I straighten it
yeah.
more.
Okay.
But if I could change one thing, I would at least have, if I could afford it, I don't know if
Hmm.
I would have been able to,
Yeah. Yeah.
but the hair stylist come back because my hair was done. And if I didn't have them come back, I would at least do a different style that was more
Okay.
so that was
You
just
used, sorry to cut you off. You used someone on the resort for your hair.
I
You,
did not. I used
okay.
Christian Beauty.
Oh, you did. Oh, yeah. You definitely told me that. But yes, tell them.
So
Yes.
I found them from Danielle because I saw you on your page, and then you interviewed Crispin, Ivan, or Yvonne.
Yes.
So I ended up using them and
Yeah.
beautiful work, but also
Hmm.
I couldn't control the fact that my hair was like,
Yeah.
girl, you
That's real.
tried it, you're
That's
hot.
real. Yes.
So
You
yeah, it was
partying. Yeah.
tough.
Oh, that's real. Okay, great. Yeah, she actually found us from the YouTube video that I made with me
Yes.
recording Ivan. So that's so crazy. And I'm so glad that that helped you, honestly. He is such a wonderful person. And he's like, to this day, I'm like hyping him up, like, use him, if not for hair, for makeup. He's amazing. Like, he's awesome. Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
he
Yeah.
is. He did both. He did my hair and makeup. So
Amazing.
I'm
He
grateful.
did, or did he have an assistant that did your hair?
The assistant did my hair. I shook hair,
Okay.
right? And he did
Okay.
my makeup. And then his
Okay.
assistant did my mom's hair. My mom also, she has a short, like curly fro. So she was
Okay.
concerned. She's like, Ivy, are you sure? I'm like, they told me that they are able to do this style, and it was
Yeah.
beautiful. Hers lasted longer
Wow.
than mine. I was surprised
Wow.
because she was crying faster than me, and but his assistant did do our hair, and then
Yeah.
he did a couple of my bridesmaids makeup, but then he had
Okay.
another assistant do the other two bridesmaids makeup.
Okay. And how were those outside vendor fees when it came to like
Mhm.
Ivan? And yes, tell us about
Yeah.
it.
So it changed. So I should
Okay.
preface that it has gone
Okay.
up. That's
Mm-hmm.
one of the big finest though. All of the outside vendor fees were $600,
Oh,
which is
wow.
a lot of money,
Yeah.
but some other places were like 1,200 and 1,400. And so
Easy.
600 was a little more manageable. And
Mm-hmm.
for hair and makeup, they just charged you one. So
Awesome.
that was like perfect. We didn't have to pay one for hair, one for makeup. There was some talk about that. I made sure, and I would give this advice to everybody: if you have it written down, keep that documentation so that they can
Mm-hmm.
honor it. And the wedding
Mm-hmm.
coordinators might have tried it, and then
Mm-hmm.
like, but my agreement said that it was one per, and
That
that
part.
made sure that
Yeah.
we only did one. So we
Yeah.
ended up only paying a fee for Ivan, our
Him.
DJ. We did bring our DJ out of
Okay.
house, and then our
Okay.
dinner. And then you can decide if you want to pay for a room, but they have to be 3 nights for any of your vendors.
Oh,
That
okay.
waives the fee. If you are going to pay for a room for them, minimum of 3 nights,
Mhm.
then they attend a little bit differently. Like they won't pay
Mhm.
that. You won't pay that 600. We
Right.
did that for one person, which was our photographer because she was coming from Pittsburgh. So
Got it.
we
Got
just
it.
paid for her.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, 600 is not bad at all. Do you know what it went up to?
It almost doubled.
Oh
I
my.
don't The last time I checked, it was 1,200, but
Yeah.
for the 25 brides in the group, because I'm still in that Facebook
Yeah.
group,
Don't leave.
100%, it is the best group that helped me.
Yes.
I feel like it went up even more from that.
Wow.
So they
Wow.
recognize their demand. That resort is, we had 3 weddings our day. So
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
December, mid-December, 3 weddings in one
Wow.
day, and there was like, I think maybe 5 to 6 across just 4 days of our weekend.
Yeah.
Their demand went up. So they increased that price naturally.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. Mine was 1,000. It was
Mhm.
like, you're
That's
gonna
it.
cut this check. And
Right.
yeah, but we were pretty lucky in the fact that they didn't charge us because we actually paid for a day pass for Ivan. And I just like it was like a blessing. Like I don't know why we didn't get charged it. They could have if they wanted to. I guess our on-site coordinator was just like a sweetheart. And she kind of just pushed it to the side. But we paid for Ivan's day pass. And then that was kind of like his fee. It was like 300 something dollars or whatever, and then we were fine. But they could have definitely charged us $1,000 if they wanted to. And
Right.
yeah, that's a biter. So definitely look into that. Just like how Ivy said, like keep documentation of what they're telling you for all the things, not just like vendor fees for anything that they're quoting you. Send follow-up emails. Hey, just confirming we had this conversation, and in this conversation you said X, you said
Yep.
this price, right?
Yep.
So you could hold them accountable because it like honestly those prices are sometimes based on their feelings.
Mhm. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. And
Yeah.
that's why, like, you know how you said you would change having a local vendor for your planner?
Yes.
That's why I'm so glad we did. And again, she had a relationship with them, so they've done a lot of weddings.
Mm.
But that was one of the things. She'll be like, I'm texting your coordinator. I'm like, you have her number to text her?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm calling her. Where she'll call and say, well, Ivy and Javon have been waiting for this and y'all haven't
Yes.
given them a decision. And we
Yes.
get a decision the next day. And like there was a
Mm.
couple things with our concessions. I don't know if
Mhm.
the guests know about concessions yet, but a big
Mhm.
money saver at any resort with
Yes.
our room block, we were lucky enough to get money off based on the
Awesome.
that
Yep.
were paid in the
Mhm.
nights. And one of our concessions was for like a free cocktail hour that we used to have some
Perfect.
herbs and drinks for the
Nice.
welcome party.
Okay, perfect. Yep.
Really, they were trying to just with I don't know, changes in our guests last minute, the resort tried to say like, "Oh, you don't qualify for that concession."
Whoa,
Our
whoa,
wedding planner called them and was like,
whoa.
"Well, I have her guest list, and she also sent you an updated version." Like she was making
Yeah.
sure to get our stuff right too. So we got that off.
Mm,
They gave us that free cocktail hour that we earned because we bought you how many guests? Hey,
right.
but that's why, yes,
Yeah.
documentation, and she
Mm,
had the records, so it was good.
perfect.
Like there was stuff I didn't have to think about that she's like, "Oh, Ivy, I got it. I'll send it to the decor company. I'll send it to the
Yeah.
D." Like,
We love
great.
We love that. We love that. We love that. That's awesome. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And also if you have a local planner, they kind of know when you're being like overpriced on things too, you know? Because if they've been around, they've kind of seen like the different resorts and whatever, and they're just like, hey man, come on, what's the real price of this thing? Come on, like So they could advocate on your behalf. So that's awesome. Yeah, that was a great idea for sure. Okay. I'm like any other advice that you have at the top of your head that you want to just kind of dish out to these brides and bless them with your knowledge? Go ahead and do that right now.
Yeah, I would say first things first, if you can, join one of the Facebook groups if they have it for your resort in particular,
Mm-hmm.
because that's where a lot of the information, while it can change, right? Like year to year, a bride could have last year's prices, but then you're reaching out and you just don't have any idea.
Yep.
That was helpful to at least get an idea of who to contact without needing to wait for the resort to respond to me and tell me who to contact.
Yep.
So that was my first thing that I started with after we determined like we're going to sign this agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt a lot of peace of mind, even though they're not the resort, but they gave me a lot of information.
Absolutely.
But I would definitely say that. And then
Mm-hmm.
again with documentation, like it was really important for us to keep holding on to stuff and like keep a record. We just made a Google folder or however you store stuff, and I put everything in there every time we updated it so that I can just remind them. And I printed it out with all the updated stuff when I got there. Like this is what we agreed to, so
Smart.
that we pay what we were intending to pay, and there's no
Mm-hmm.
surprises. And
Yes.
that was helpful.
Wow. Yeah.
And then I think lastly, I would just say be flexible and
Mm-hmm.
adaptable without, of course, stepping too far away from what you wanted. Because at the end of the day, it is your day, you and your husband or partner to be's day, and you want it to go, how you envisioned it. And
Yeah.
so there was stuff that we didn't want to have to compromise on, but
Mm-hmm.
we also recognize like this is a space where one, things are so unpredictable,
Right.
whether I was one of the top, but like we
Mm-hmm.
just don't know what's going to happen. And instead of us stressing about it going perfectly and like, why aren't people contacting us and what's going on, we
Mm-hmm.
like took a step back together because there was times where I'm like, all right, do we elope? Do we take this trip? Like, or do we just, go through with it? And
Mm-hmm.
we had to slow down and say, just be adaptable. Like you
Yeah.
might not get the first vendor that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Their decor is, not cheap or
Yeah.
florals. And so
Yeah.
you can negotiate
Yeah.
if no one has told you. You can get quotes from multiple vendors, and some are willing to price match or will even say, like, well, they offered you $10 a chair, I can offer you seven. And so
Mm-hmm.
being respectful about it, like I recognize that this is a service they're providing, we want to pay them, but
100%.
also I want to make sure that I'm trying to get the best price. So
Right.
I was both adaptable and knowing that like just go with it. It's gonna still be a beautiful day, but
Mm-hmm.
also if I can negotiate so I can still get some of the things that, make sense for our day.
Mhm, yeah, that's all very, very solid advice. And I think kind of just to add to what you're saying, kind of talking about your budget is really important, right? And trying to stick to it as much as possible, being transparent with these vendors, like, this is how much I have.
Right.
How do you like take my vision and make that possible with this $2,000? Like, what can
Right.
you do for it? Because you're right. You don't, it's a business at the end of the day. This is their livelihood. This is their career. Just like in the US, we have to get paid for the jobs that we do. Right. So it's very important that we're very transparent and open and just like, documentation. Like, I was not that bride. I was not the keeping track of all the things. And like, that was not me.
Okay.
That's not my ministry. So like, I did not know like that I would need those things. And I feel like my planner did a pretty good job of putting things in an Excel spreadsheet. But as far as like external documents,
Right.
like we didn't really necessarily keep track of those. But that would be very, very good to do for sure. So yeah, and the Facebook groups, 100%, 100%. All the Facebook groups, even if it's not just your specific
Mhm.
resort. Um, there's another one, there's like Black girl destination weddings, stuff like the general destination weddings in Mexico, in Cancun, in Playa, like all of
Right.
those groups are super, super helpful. I know I have one going right now for Playa Mujeres, and there's like it just opened like literally in February, and these brides are on here already sharing prices, already doing like we are our best like advocates, and we are
Okay.
very, very like open with pricing, and it's necessary so that we're able to kind of just like help each other out because it's hard out here for sure.
Hmm. In
And
the
this
destination
podcast,
wedding world.
yes, it really is. It really is. And it's not like you said, it's always changing. Prices are always changing. And so we have to help each other out. And that's why this podcast is happening right now, because, I love that, so many of us are willing to kind of come on here and tell our stories on Instagram, on TikTok or whatever, just helping out each other because it really is difficult to somebody who hasn't planned a destination wedding before. It's all of our first times. So
Exactly.
yeah. So I'm really glad that you're here and that you took the time out to be on this show. So thank you, my first bridey bride.
Thank you for
And
having me.
yeah, of course. And yeah, if you guys have any questions for Ivy, if you're specifically looking to get married at her resort, let me know, send a comment, and I'll send it right to her. I know that she would be willing and just available to help you out with any questions that you have, just because she's such a sweet individual and she's so nice. And
Thank
so yeah, and if you guys like want to see any resorts specifically come on this show, like let me know also. Like this is my first bride, but I definitely want to do more. So if there's any resorts that you were thinking about, like, hey, I would love to hear a bride come from here so I can do some research so I could find that bride, let me know for sure. Thank you so much, Ivy, for your time again and for being here. And we are definitely going to just marinate in all of the information that you just gave us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And I love to talk destination weddings. So, like Danielle said, my page is even my Instagram page is public. I posted a couple things about the wedding. Feel
Mm.
free to follow me, simply Ivy 2 underscores if you want to see it. And I answer questions all the time. Again, because like you said, there's so much connection. So someone sees me on Ivan's page, they're like, hey, like, how was your makeup experience? And so I'm willing, please reach out. I'm here to support. And one day, hopefully, I get to do what Danielle does and help other couples make sure their dream wedding happens in paradise.
Oh
So,
yes. It's coming. It's coming, girl, in the right timing for sure. And yeah, definitely follow her. Plug, plug, plug. Definitely follow Ivy and ask her all the questions. And also you can hit me up too and I'll relay it to her, whatever is easier for you. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching, not for watching because this is not on. Thank you for listening. Maybe thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your day.